Welcome to Spirits on Spirits, the podcast where we mix ghost stories with a little liquid courage. I'm Aiden,
And I'm Nate.
and together we'll dive into the eerie, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying, all while enjoying a drink or two. Each episode will explore haunted places, ghostly encounters, and paranormal mysteries, pairing them with the perfect cocktail to keep our nerves steady. So grab a glass, turn down the lights, and join us as we sip, shiver, and swap some spine-chilling stories. Because here at Spirits on Spirits, the only thing stronger than the ghosts are our drinks.
What's up, Poltergeist players?
What's up, players?
What's up? We are back with another episode of Spirits on Spirits. Aiden, happy to be back.
Happiest to be back.
Happiest to be back. I agree. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We are here. It is starting to get dark out, starting to set that vibe for this week's episode of Spirits on Spirits. Aiden, where are we traveling to this week?
So this one's kind of a special one because we're actually taking the recommendation of one of our listeners. So out of respect for this person's privacy, I will refer to them as R instead of their actual name.
Appreciate you, R.
Appreciate you, R. So R is a local to Oklahoma City, which is where we'll be going today. And they told us about, they told us about the story that I'll be telling today, which is a crazy one.
Word.
So let's give a special cheers to R.
Well, before we give the cheers, you got to tell people what we're cheersing.
You are very right. So we're doing the Southern Comfort Smash, which is apparently a local drink to Oklahoma City. So it's going to be, so what I did is 2 parts Southern Comfort to 1 part lemon juice.
Ooh.
And then a little bit of honey and
Ooh.
some muddled mint.
That sounds way better than what I expected.
Yeah.
When I heard Southern Comfort Smash,
I expected like a punch or something.
I expected, given it being Oklahoma City, in Southern Comfort Smash, I expected it to be like half a bottle of Southern Comfort, 4 Monster Energy drinks, and some guy in a cut-off flannel just punching you in the throat after you know, like a hurricane shot where like you do a shot and then like the bartender slaps you in the face.
Yeah.
The like big-chested woman, they like have her waddle out and slap you in the face. Instead of that, it was just some guy who hasn't paid child support in 3 years.
Oh my
punching you in the
God,
throat,
dude.
going,
So we expected very different things.
yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah.
But
and it's a very different thing from what we both
and
expected.
you know what? It sounds like a very elegant, which also too, like, it's Southern Comfort. So I just like, when you were like, oh, here's the recipe for the week, I was like, wow, it sounds like a very elegant way to use Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to try it. So obviously I'm doing the whiskey alternative version. But I am excited to try it nonetheless. Cheers.
Well, let's give a cheers to R.
Cheers to R.
Oh, that's tasty.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Talk me through it with the whiskey though.
It honestly doesn't even have like a real kick, like alcohol kick. It's kind of just super smooth. I feel like it's got to be the honey, just like coating your mouth in honey a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
I could see that being like a drink you like make, because that's an easy cocktail, but it's also one that like you can impress people with. Like that's like, oh shit, like so and so can make a cocktail.
And the presentation's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You'll see it up on our Instagram if you go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we just got it in a little rocks glass with a little mint garnish. Good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. I do also, just real quick, apologize. I am a little under the weather this week, so if you hear me sounding stuffed up and all that kind of stuff, or hear me blow my nose at any point, I apologize.
Needs a little sicky poo.
Yep, a little bit. I mean, people around the studio are saying I'm being really brave, right now by
All of
filming.
the people in the studio,
They-
the very
you know,
many people.
there's a couple.
Yeah.
They all said they were like, "Wow!" Like they whispered it too. They didn't want to say it to me, and I get that. But they were like, "Wow, he's really brave for being here today." And yeah, I agree, but I don't want to make a big deal out of it. So we should just move past it.
So brave.
So brave.
All
But
right,
again,
well,
we're making a big deal out of it, so let's just move on.
You're right. We got to
Yep.
breeze past
Yep.
it. So my story is the Skirvin Hotel.
Noise.
It was the creation of William Balser Skirvin, who I also saw online referred to as W.B. Skirvin.
WB Skirv.
I feel like that's a rich name.
It is. It's a cool name too.
Yeah. It's like
WB Skirvin. Like you see that on an ad somewhere.
yeah.
Like he definitely owns something or there's something named after him, and it's like there's a jingle like do 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 WB Skirvin for all your Skirvin needs. Anything you need be Skirvin. So Skirvin, these are deeds.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was great, dude. They should hire you for the jingles.
Yep. You know what? It might not even be a real company, but maybe someone should make it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely not.
No.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah.
We won't have to worry about copyright with that one.
Sure as shit not. Sure as shit not.
Oh.
So he was a Michigan native who amassed his wealth through land development and oil ventures in Texas.
Ooh.
And then he recognized Oklahoma City's potential, so he commissioned architect Solomon Andrew Layton.
Whoa.
Another rich name.
Yeah, that's a very like they had martinis at lunch type of people.
All these like tycoons of
Yes.
industry
Barons, if you will.
hanging out in OKC. So Solomon Andrew Layton designed the hotel, which would rival the finest establishments in the Southwest. The original structure featured two 10-story towers, which were like housed 225 rooms. And then in 1930, a third wing was added, and they were each elevated to 14 stories, which is what you will see today.
Whoa.
And it added an additional 300 rooms. So now it's 14 stories, 525 rooms.
That's a lot of rooms.
Yeah.
That's a lot of rooms.
Yeah.
I'm imagining too the vision was a nice hotel, right? Like he wasn't
Super nice.
super nice. Gotcha.
Its architectural elegance, characterized by its classical revival style, and you'll see pictures of it up on our Instagram as well if you go check that out. It made it a hub for dignitaries, celebrities, and politicians. So notable guests included Presidents Dwight D. Eisenhower, Harry Truman, and Ronald Reagan.
Whoa.
Cultural icons Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra.
No way.
And it seems to be the hotel of choice for a lot of visiting NBA teams who are visiting to play the OKC Thunder.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll get more into the NBA teams in a little while.
I know you're not a big NBA guy, but the Thunder are making a pretty good playoff run right now.
I'm not a huge NBA guy. I did see that the Celtics just got knocked
Yeah,
out.
I don't want to talk about that. That was a bad night.
Celtics in 6 or Knicks in 6.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, thank you. I hate seeing people from New York happy.
Except when they're listening to our podcast.
How many people from New York do we have listening?
I don't know.
Because I'm willing to lose them right now. Just fucking bing bong this, bing bong that. Like, fuck you all. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if I am, but whatever.
Nate's a sore loser.
I am. I'm also just a Boston guy through and through. So yeah, whatever. But yeah, no, the Oklahoma City Thunder. First off, their star player is the front runner for the MVP this year in the league.
Who is that?
Shea Gillis Alexander, SGA is like what they call him and stuff like that. He's very good. They are currently playing the Denver Nuggets. When we're recording this, the Nuggets Game 7 is tomorrow. So currently they are both tied 3-3 to decide who gets to go to the Western Conference Finals. So when this comes out, the Oklahoma City Thunder will either have made it to the Western Conference Finals or they will be bounced just one game before. But regardless, for a relatively young team, they made it very far in the playoffs. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations on your NBA success.
Cool.
So, despite the early success, the Skirvin faced challenges in the second half of the 20th century. Economic downturns and shifts in hospitality led to its closure in 1988.
Oh, it closed.
Yeah, it closed. It did close.
Wow.
And then for
I
nearly...
wonder why.
Well, I just said economic downturns and shifts.
Yeah, but what
in
economic down? I guess like
didn't
oil?
I think 1984 had a pretty big
Yeah, I guess it
crash, didn't it?
I think that was like the whole like Enron time period and all that stuff.
Yeah. For nearly 15 years, it stood vacant. And then in 2007, after extensive renovations and a huge investment, like multi-millions of dollars,
Whoa.
The Skirvin reopened as part of the Hilton chain.
Ooh.
So I think today it's part of Hilton. It's like the Skirvin Hilton
Ooh.
Hotel or something.
Nice.
The restoration preserved a lot of its historic charm while also incorporating modern amenities like you would see in modern Hilton hotels.
You love to see it. You love to see the preservation of history along with the addition of modern amenities.
Indeed.
It's one of my favorite things to look for.
But in addition to the amenities, there's said to be some paranormal friends in there.
Ooh.
Actually, just one paranormal friend.
One paranormal.
So this is going to be a bit of a shorter story. Just fair warning, because there's only one ghost to talk about. So,
but I also think just having one place, especially a place with, because we've covered a lot of hotels, right?
Yeah.
A lot of hotels. Hotels have a lot of people die in them.
Yeah.
So like, there be Alana haunted.
Alana haunted.
Alana haunted. Now back to this is what you call music. Our 10 track from Alana Haunting. If you're a ghost,
that was beautiful.
You're the most.
Definitely no copyright
no
claim on that one
Dude,
either.
You know what?
You're just full of song today.
I don't know why. I feel like absolute garbage. So I don't. I must just be mustering so much fake energy that it's
song
turning
is self-soothing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm just looking forward to the cup of tea that I'm gonna have after
Nice.
this. Yep. So with all the hauntings that occur in hotels, I think when you say there's only one ghost, that to me just means that this ghost is so like it's almost like every other person that dies there, this goes, you can't haunt here. This is my, like, they must be such a powerful energy for them to take all of the possible paranormal energy in this place up.
Especially when you're talking about a place that's 100+ years old.
Yeah, right? With like a lot of, I mean, like, from reading my story and all that stuff, like, it seems like Oklahoma and a lot of the place out west have a pretty tumultuous history. Like, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on. I mean, it was quite literally the Wild West.
Yep.
So there was a lot of money to be made and a lot of people that did whatever they needed to do to make it. So,
right.
Yeah.
So the one ghost who is said to haunt the Skirvin is a woman named Effie.
Effie in the Skirvin.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something clever to say.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's okay.
According to the legend, Effie was a maid at the hotel.
Ooh.
And she engaged in an affair with with Skirvin himself.
What? So she be Effie in the Skirvin.
Yeah.
Uh.
Effie and Skirvin in the Skirvin.
Ooh.
Damn.
Damn.
She eventually became pregnant as
What?
a result of this affair.
No way.
And Skirvin, who was hoping to avoid scandal.
Sure, because he didn't want to tell his wife that he was clapping the maid's cheeks.
Okay, what would the like when you think of like, oh, I'm trying to hide an affair with a pregnant, like, affairee, I don't know what you would call that person. When you're thinking of like, oh, ways to like cover that up, what would you do? Or not what would you do, but like what do you think of?
What do I think of? Especially a man with this amount of money.
Yeah. Short of having them murdered.
Oh, that was immediately what I went to.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, all right, fine. Short of having them murdered, I would force them. Not me, but like what I would imagine that this person would do is that I would say, "Hey, you. No.
Yep.
No pregnant. Not mine, no. No baby. And
why do you lose the ability to speak?
I go, you, Oklahoma City, no. And then I would force them to be a hobo and put them on the next trade car out of Oklahoma City. And I'd give them a little, like, one of the, like, stick things with the pouch
the
on it.
bandana thing?
Yeah,
like
the bandana on the stick. And I would say, this is your life now. Have fun.
Okay.
And I'd give them 2 cans of beans. One for them and one for the baby when it's born. And I would tell them, you're going to see a man one day. He's going to be from the Polar Express. And you two will be friends. You've never seen the Polar Express?
I've seen the Polar
Yeah, there's the guy that
That's
sits
not
on
where I
top.
thought that was going.
This is the guy that sits on top. He
Oh
goes,
my god, dude. Yeah, that is
You
not
wanna
what happened.
I mean, I had to guess.
That is not what happened at all.
Just that's what I would imagine someone with that amount of money would do.
Okay, it's actually kind of the opposite of that.
Oh.
So instead of sending her away, he confined her to a room on the 10th floor of the hotel.
Oh, so you went a little like Rapunzel situation.
Yeah, like prisoner in the tower, but the tower was the hotel.
The hotel.
Yeah.
Was that the top floor at the time?
I think it was, yeah, because
Oh.
it was a little bit later that the third wing and additional 4 stories were added.
Gotcha. I thought that would be kind of funny of like, yeah, maybe I'll give you like the floor below the top. Those rooms are kind of nice. Like I don't want to like waste that on
It's the
you.
penthouse.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it is the penthouse.
But maybe he did. Maybe he was a good guy and he gave her the penthouse.
Well,
He was like,
well,
you're pregnant with my child.
I don't know if he was a good guy.
No, he sounds like a terrible guy. He was, again, clapping the maid's booty cheeks. And he had a wife at the same time. That's a no-go.
And to show her despair, Effie leaped to her death from the window, taking her infant child with her.
No.
Yep.
That's not good.
So
too bad she wasn't Rapunzel, because then she could have just used the hair and like lowered herself down.
yeah, and too bad that he didn't just send her away with a hobo stick.
I know.
Because then she'd still probably be alive.
And have been in the Polar Express. So
that too, yeah. Met Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
sick.
right?
That'd be sick.
That's a bummer. So she sounds like she went fully crazy, being locked inside that room.
Yeah.
And then,
as I think most people would.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you're
confined to a room.
If you're a boss.
A hotel room? Oh.
Yeah, hotel rooms like suck for more than like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you were having hanky-panky time with your boss.
Yeah.
And then your boss goes, "Oh, you have to live in this room now for the rest of your life."
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
With a baby.
Yeah, with a baby in your stomach.
And then a baby, like, out of your stomach.
Yeah.
Just like a newborn baby.
Well, when she died, was the baby born?
I think so.
Oh.
As the legend goes.
So, like, she had the baby.
Yeah.
And she jumped out the window with the baby in her arms.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
No.
She shouldn't have done that.
Well, he also shouldn't have confined her.
No,
to the room.
I agree. He is to blame for all of this.
I don't understand how you confine someone to a room, though. Like a hotel room.
I just think he was stupid. There were so many better ways to handle this.
Well, I just don't know, like, how you, like why is, like, okay, whatever.
I
like,
think
we're beyond the why, but, like, how, like, the logistics behind it.
Maybe he put a lock on the outside of the door.
Why didn't I think of that?
Or he paid someone to sit there.
Yeah, a lock would be a lot cheaper.
Lock would be a lot cheaper, but he doesn't sound like the smartest of guys.
No.
Which
No.
is crazy because, like, W.B. Slytherin, or what was his name?
Skirvin.
Skirvin. Skirvin seems like he makes a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't he just, like, send her off? You want to go live in Malibu? Fucking here. Money. Gone. Never seen again. Wasn't like there was Instagram back then.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, I have no, like, there's, yeah. Or fucking, not even that. Here's a shack 3 hours outside the city. I'll make sure food gets to you every week. Done. Oh, you want to come tell my wife? Have fun walking 30 miles in the Dust Bowl.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were so many better ways he could have handled this.
Hey, yo, Skirvin, you're a dummy.
Yeah.
You suck at this.
Oh, man. Just be better at affairs,
Be better
bro.
at affairs, dude.
Better at affairs, bro. That's crazy,
What an
though.
idiot.
That's a bummer. So I imagine she's got a lot of energy surrounding her spirit. Because, I mean, to have someone slowly devolve due to the conditions put on her in that situation would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Like, she went crazy because of him, because of this building, because of everything that happened in that building. That has probably a pretty powerful energy.
Yeah, so over the years, numerous guests and staff have reported unexplained phenomena and have attributed it to her. So they'll hear a baby crying, doors will slam shut,
Well,
and then there are sightings of a female apparition. So specifically, male guests have claimed to experience seductive advances from an unseen presence. I don't know how that is possible, though. Like, how do you know it's a seductive advance if you can't see the thing? You know?
well, I think guys think everything is seductive.
So you think they're just, like, feeling a, like, gust of wind and they're like, oh.
I'm windsexual. No, I don't know. Like, dude, like, every guy does this ever. Like, anytime you're out at a bar, some, like, lady's, like, looking at the clock on the wall behind you, and you're like, bro, she's looking at me. I got a chance, bro.
She wants me.
Bro, she wants, like, so, like, maybe the ghost was just, like, tapping them on the shoulder, and they'll be like, this ghost fucking wants me, bro. But it's interesting that it only happens to male spirits, or not spirits, male people.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that definitely might lend itself to that. Like,
Well, there's, like, additional, like, that's not the only thing that they report, so.
so was she trying to, like, is she trying to bang dudes in the hotel?
So I'll get to it.
Okay.
So, they'll hear a female voice while they're alone in the room, specifically males again.
Oh.
And men have reported sighting a naked woman when they're in the shower.
Ooh.
little saucy ghost.
What? A naked ghost? I didn't know ghosts could be naked.
Well, most of the time they have clothing on. It is reasonable to expect that they could probably
I
take those
didn't
off.
know that ghosts could be naked. Wow, I genuinely didn't know that. That's crazy. So when they're in a shower, so this ghost is like trying to get some.
Yeah, people report getting touched by the ghost.
Which, okay, hear me out. And again, like, I think it's funny because I am the person that normally is like in the believer shoes of like, oh man, that definitely happened. Like, hear me out. Getting touched by a ghost or just naked when the air conditioner kicks on.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with you.
Come on. Like, unless the ghost is like, I don't know. Like, what what is it? Like
maybe they like see it.
Do you think like you're seeing the ghost as it's like trying to put the moves on you?
Maybe.
And I guess people said she was naked. What did she look like?
I don't know. So I actually also saw that like there was no full record of her.
Oh, so like maybe
like the death happening in the hotel.
Maybe he
and
like
stuff,
didn't report it or something like that. I feel like this guy was really worried and was trying to keep this under as tight a wraps as possible.
Yeah, 100%. He didn't want his reputation to be damaged, and look at his reputation now.
Yeah, we're talking about it 100 years later. And he's got a ghost mistress who's going around that hotel trying to
bang dudes.
Yeah.
I'm watching them.
Why?
Bathe.
Why?
Why?
Why is she trying to bang dudes? Maybe he was like really jealous. So this is her way to get back at him of like, in your hotel, I'm gonna put that thing down.
Yeah, or maybe like, I don't know, maybe she felt like lonely or something because she was locked away for so long.
Yeah, but she doesn't try to like
just hang out.
It doesn't seem like she's trying to like have like a romantic bond. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like when you show up naked in someone's room,
no, it all
she does the naked
seductive.
man. She does the naked man.
Yeah,
dude.
she does. She does.
Can you describe the naked man? It's from a TV show, so this isn't a real
in How I Met
thing.
Your Mother, one like a random guy that they come across does a move called the naked man, where the girl will go to the bathroom and then he'll just be on her couch naked when she comes back, and it's like he's like, it works. I think it's like 1 in 3 times or something.
Yeah, horrible. Do not recommend doing that.
Absolutely
at all. But it reminds me of that TV show. Because, yeah, she just pops it. You got room for a second in here? That's not like, we should go honeymoon in St. Bart's. That's like,
let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Right? Like, am I misreading that?
No, you're right.
I did just talk about how guys misread everything, but like,
I mean, that feels pretty plain and simple.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like, I'm naked and I'm a ghost. So maybe they do see like her ghost. Like, maybe she just walked. So, let me paint a picture for you. You're a businessman. You're from Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
You work in telecommunications.
Yes. Okay.
You have a client meeting in Oklahoma City. Your company's doing pretty well, so they book you this rather nice hotel. You check in. It's a long flight from Newark. That's like probably 6, maybe 7 hours. 5 or 6, because like, California. So I digress. You had a long day. You had your Starbucks in the morning. You take the flight. Maybe you had like some light refreshments on the flight. You got some work emails answered. You listened to maybe an episode of Spirits on Spirits, maybe
or all multiple that are out.
Multiple, yeah. I mean, that's a long flight. You got a chance to listen to multiple. You take your Uber from the airport to your hotel. You check in. You go, wow, this thing's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm excited. Maybe you get a cocktail, a Southern Smash.
Southern Comfort
Smash at the bar. You're like, you know what? It's been a long night. I'm going to go up to my room. You put your bag in the corner. You're a neat person. You put your bag neatly on like that pedestal stool that no one knows what it's for,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
they give it to you. It's for the suitcase. But
Dude, I
why
feel
it's
like
for
I'm
the
there.
suitcase, right? Um, you take your dress shirt off. It's dirty, so you put it on one side of the closet on a hanger still because you're not an animal, but it not with the clean shirts that you just put on hangers. Maybe you're wearing like a nice linen sport coat, nothing crazy because you're not expecting to see anyone, but just in case you do see anyone, you wanted to be prepared.
I wonder where this is going.
Yeah, so you're you hang that up too. That's still clean, so that can go on the right side of the
Oh my
closet.
god, dude.
You're sipping on your Southern Comfort Smash. Maybe you have ESPN on faintly in the background. The volume's very low, so you can only slightly hear Stephen A. Smith screaming about nonsense.
Yeah.
You draw yourself a shower. I don't know if you can draw yourself a shower, but you turn the shower on. Hotter than what you're going to get in at, but you like when steam fills the room. You do the die hard. You take your shoes off. You take your socks off. You make knuckles with your toes. You walk around a little bit. You kind of like you're wearing your undershirt and your pants. You then fold those off. So at this point, you're complete. You're in the nude at this point.
Okay.
You take a couple sips of your drink. You stare at the TV for a little bit. Then you shower. You use. I mean, this. We're talking. This is a nice hotel, so you got nice products there. So you know, maybe indulge yourself a little shampoo, a little conditioner. You're feeling nice and relaxed.
This is a very detailed
It's a
image.
hotter shower than you normally take at home because you're really just trying to like let
Wash
everything
the
go.
airplane
Yeah,
off.
like you know you had a long day, like you're chilling and stuff like that, and then you know you towel dry. You go hair first. You do hair first, then you do a light shoulder rub, and then you wrap the towel around your waist. You stare at yourself in the mirror for a couple seconds, pump the chest up a little bit. You're trying to. You got a big meeting tomorrow, so you're building yourself up for it. You brush your teeth, then you walk out to the bedroom. You have already put your pajamas. You wear, let's say, a old athletic shirt from your college heydays, and a pair of sweat shorts, already neatly folded on the bed. Now you unwrap the towel and you put it next to you, and then just all of a sudden a naked ghost appears and just flicks your dick and then disappears. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
That's what I read this ghost as. That's who this, like, she's just like drive by flicking dicks, bro. She might just go every single room that there's just a single guy in. She just flicks a dick and then moves on.
A little seductress, just flicking dicks.
Flicking dicks, man.
The dick flicker.
The dick flicker.
Effie the dick flicker.
Oh, man.
That was a very vivid image. Thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you know what? I didn't know I was going to go that deep.
It's like
But
half the episode.
Yeah.
Would just be it's describing me getting to my hotel room.
Oh, man. Just getting your dick flicked after a flight from Newark to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, as a businessman with a big meeting tomorrow. Can you imagine getting to that business meeting, like meeting up with one of your friends who was also a businessman,
Yeah.
and just being like, dude, I think I got my dick flicked by a ghost last night.
And then you get fired because they're like, this guy's crazy now.
No, and then Jeremy from HR is like, dude, same.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one.
Oh, man. That's so funny.
Oh, you met Effie.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, yeah. Let's wrap this story up. So, NBA teams have shared eerie experiences during their stays. In 2010, members of the New York Knicks, boo,
Yep.
fuck the Knicks. They reported sleepless nights due to mysterious noises. Some of the players attributed their subsequent loss to the haunting.
Oh, whoa. That's pretty cool.
And then other teams have recounted incidents of door slamming and unexplained sounds, further cementing the hotel's haunted reputation.
That's crazy.
It kind of sounds like this ghost is an Oklahoma City Thunder fan,
Maybe.
and she wants the other teams to be like,
Yeah, just like fucking with the other teams.
like not well rested
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
for their games.
Didn't one of them even have to like switch hotel rooms too?
Yeah, I think one of the teams had to switch hotels. I don't even know if it was hotel rooms. I think they like moved
Yeah,
hotels
you're right. Like
because they were having like crazy experiences.
That's crazy. That is wild.
So that is the mighty Skirvin Hotel.
Well, what do you think, haunted or not?
See, I'm like kind of 50-50 on this one because
Okay.
on one hand, it's almost more convincing when you have only one ghost, because if you have a ghost, a lot of the times I feel like a place like this would be like, no, we have like a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah.
Paranormal people, come here.
Uh-huh.
Or like they only have one ghost, so like I don't know, maybe it's just like the hotels. I don't know. Like I always think it's like with ghost hunting equipment. Like it's convenient that like the batteries ran out. The thing died. Like yeah, no, you made a shitty piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Or like it's the spirit box, the radio thing. It's saying stuff. It's like yeah, you can program things to do that.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like oh, you had a weird experience at our hotel. It was the ghost.
Yeah. I
You
see
know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying. So, all right, I'm gonna.
So I'll go 51% haunted,
Oh, okay.
49% not haunted.
That's not what I thought you were gonna do. I thought you were gonna do the other side, but I guess I lean, especially because like this ghost is doing a lot of stuff. Like I would somewhat be on your side if it was, or I would somewhat understand how you would draw the skeptic side and say not haunted if this ghost was doing like normal stuff that we've heard, where it's like
just slamming doors,
or just a baby crying, or
Yeah.
just stuff like that. But the fact that it's showing up naked in people's rooms and like trying to cop a feel, like that is where I'm like, oh no, this is haunted, because that's unique stuff. That is
Yeah.
stuff that only actual ghosts do. That
Yeah.
can't be debunked.
No.
Naked ghost trying to like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what the ghost's trying to do, but something. It's trying to do something with your wiener.
Yeah.
I definitely lean haunted in that case.
Okay. Yeah. I'm 51% on your side.
Got you. Cool. So, all right, you want to kill the drink and then I'll tell my story?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Chug. Wow, you really smashed that Southern Comfort.
Yeah, I only had a little bit left because it's just such an easy drink
Nice.
to drink.
Well, and there's also less liquid with it because
Yeah.
it's just Southern Comfort and lemon juice.
basically, yeah.
What is lemon juice?
What?
Is it like, that's the squeeze thing, like in the, like, they put it in a thing that looks like a lemon at the grocery store, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And also they put it in other bottles too.
No, but
And also you can just like squeeze the
did
lemon.
you dilute it, or is it like, it's really strong, right? Is what I was trying to get at. Like, you wouldn't drink a cup of lemon juice,
No.
would you?
It's the juice of lemon.
Okay. This whole episode I was sitting with that. I was like, it's not lemonade. But
While I was
what
talking
is
about
it?
a spirit watching people shower, you were
Yeah.
like, wonder what lemon juice is.
Yeah, I was like, it's not lemonade, but it's not. I think it's that thing. So yeah, I don't know. I was a little, I was curious.
Okay.
Yep. So all right, we'll see you on the other side, peeps.
Peace.
We're back. Boom, doom, doo doo doo, no. Oh man. Yeah, we're back. That was kind of a long break. We like did some marketing stuff, looked at a bunch of other things.
Took some little detours, did some side quests.
Little bit of side questing.
But reloaded the drink and ready for story numero dos of the night.
Let's do it. So, my story, when I was looking up haunted places in Oklahoma City. This came up, and then after I kind of like got really invested in it, I realized it's like a little outside, like 2 hours outside of Oklahoma City.
That's okay.
Yeah, I felt like the story is fascinating enough, and I think 2 hours in the grand scheme of things isn't too far.
Also, Oklahoma's like pretty big, so
I do think
I feel
so.
like Oklahoma City's probably still the main city around that
Oklahoma.
area.
Oklahoma, down on the range. I'm pretty good tonight when it comes to copyright-free
Dude,
music.
yeah, you're
Like,
singing up a storm today.
Singing up a storm of music that doesn't exist. Singing up a storm. The Dust Bowl was Oklahoma, right?
I'm sure it happened. I'm sure it occurred there too.
Yeah. But that was like the main place, right?
Was it? I
I
thought it was
could
like Kansas and stuff.
Well,
Which is right above
Yeah, I was
Oklahoma,
gonna say
so
they're right next to each other. All right. So I am doing the Cherokee Strip Museum in Alva, Oklahoma. Now, it's not what you think it
Okay.
is. It's so the Cherokee Strip is a piece of land that exists in Oklahoma, about 2 hours north of Oklahoma City, where back in the Trail of Tears days when they moved the Cherokee Indians from which if I had to, I'll give you $1,000 right now. Where were the Cherokee Indians originally from?
I'm gonna go with Nevada.
No.
Oh.
But right though, like I thought they were like a Western Native American population. They're not. They were from Georgia. And they got moved.
Oh, did they get moved up? Like
Well,
northwest?
I mean, they got pushed really far west.
Okay.
And then I think they got moved maybe a little because with the Trail of Tears and that westward push of the Native Americans, I think there was specific destinations in mind. It wasn't just push them west; it was push them west to a specific location.
Hmm.
So there was a specific set piece of land that was given to the Cherokee Native American population, and there was a surveying era where there was a certain acre by acre strip of land that was unaccounted for in really any parceling out of the land, and that's why it was called the Cherokee Strip, because it was this strip of land that was unaccounted for due to a surveying error.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. Or not? Interesting. Pretty interesting. I'm hesitant to say cool when we're talking about the relocation of a population forcefully.
Yeah.
So not cool.
Yeah. Very uncool.
Uncool. But interesting that that's where this got its name from.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, the Cherokee Strip Museum was actually built in 1932, and it was originally built as the Alva General Hospital. And it served until 1972 as the general hospital for that area. And
It's like 40 years.
yeah, and rural Oklahoma, not a ton of hospitals.
Can't imagine so.
No. So there's a lot of stuff that went down in this hospital. A fun little tidbit is that a lot of people were born in that hospital that was 40 years in a rural place. Like,
yeah,
pretty much any baby that was born in that area was birthed,
right,
was given to the world. That was weird. I don't know why I said that. In this hospital that now is this museum. So there's like an affectionate like little term down in this part of Oklahoma. You call them like museum babies. Like anyone that was born in that hospital is a museum baby. I don't know what the Oklahoman. What do you call them? People from Oklahoma.
Okies.
I mean Sooners. Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
I like Okie better, but you know.
No, but there must be a term for it. Is it just Sooners? Do you just call them Sooners?
Sure.
I was looking for any sort of like.
How the fuck would I know, dude?
I don't know. I feel like one of us just usually knows a little bit about something.
Yeah,
And
I know
if
very
I
little
don't,
about
all right,
Oklahoma.
fair. So it was originally a hospital for a long time. It was a fully functional, so there was an emergency room, there were surgical suites, there was all kinds of labor and delivery, everything that a normal hospital had, this place had. Okay.
Okay.
Um, it now the museum itself. The museum's actually really interesting. There's a lot of different exhibits. There's a boys and girl, not boys and girl, Boy Scouts of America exhibit. There's uh, a railroad exhibit. There's because it was uh, Alva was a line or one of the first stops on the Santa Fe railway line. Which do you remember what episode we covered that in?
The Santa Fe. I would go with Albuquerque.
Yeah, Albuquerque. That was the hotel I did. Was the Santa Fe Railway Hospital? Remember? So it was one of the first stops in kind of this region on that line. So there's an exhibit from that. There's like fire exhibit. There's a lot of stuff from when it was a hospital in there too. So there's a lot of relics and artifacts from when it was a hospital in the museum today. Now, another very interesting thing that I feel like you and I both know like a decent amount about history. Like I wouldn't say like I at least myself, I wouldn't say I'm a history buff, but like
I think I am.
I enjoy history. I find it very fascinating. I like to learn about it and all that stuff. Another big piece of the museum and the exhibits that they have dates back to from 1943 to 1945. The now museum, at that point hospital, served as a POW camp. Um, it housed around 20,000 Nazis and Nazi sympathizers. I had no idea that we had POW camps in the United States for like with Nazis in it.
I didn't know that either.
Right? And there was 8 in Oklahoma. So this was one of 8.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I guess there was probably just a lot of like land.
I know.
Just not a lot
But
of
just
like...
the fact that we flew them
over
over
weird.
here,
it's weird.
it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But regardless, it was 20,000 Nazis and Nazi sympathizers. So the one in Alva, the one in Cherokee Strip Museum / at that time the hospital, was the maximum. It was of all of them, it was the maximum security Nazi one. So we had all kinds of different POW camps, but the one in here was a maximum security Nazi and Nazi sympathizer.
So it was like the worst of the worst.
Yes, the worst of the worst. So there's a lot of history revolving around that at this location, because they have a lot of artifacts from it. So yeah, those are the two key history points. You have a hospital and you have a Nazi POW camp.
Yeah, I mean,
happening at the same location.
I feel like that's like a petri dish for hauntings.
Yeah, right? So, you know what's interesting when I was doing my research was it's hard to find, or it was hard to find a lot of specific information like this is this ghost or this is this. Like there's a lot of reports, and I'll get into like specific reports that a lot of people are seeing and finding and stuff like that. But all in all, like I was thinking about it, I'm like, I don't think there probably was not the best kept records in a rural hospital in the middle of Oklahoma in the early, 30s to the 70s. I also don't think we were doing probably either on purpose or on accident, like accounting for the POWs and the prisoner camp. Like that probably was potentially on purpose. My guess is let's keep it as hush hush and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't want them to know like the conditions probably and stuff.
Well, or the fact that you don't want United States general public to know that there's 20,000 Nazis
That too. Yeah,
sitting
that
in
is a good point.
Oklahoma. At least that was what I went to first. So when it comes to hauntings, this is actually a place that is regarded as one of the most haunted places in all of Oklahoma. Um, I think some of that comes from they're actually very open and cater to paranormal investigators. They are a place that like builds that kind of into. They openly say it. They're like, that's part of our economic plan. Is we're haunted as shit. Get your ass down here and investigate for a fee. Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah, which I think would be super cool for us to do.
That would
But
be super cool.
I watched on like 2x and then at times 4x and skipping around. There was a guy that did a 5-hour video of footage from the hospital or museum now. And then another guy did like another 2-hour one on Facebook Live, and then there was another like clip of one and stuff like that. So I watched a lot of video footage of it. So I think some of the it's the most haunted place is just because you're getting people coming to it the most. But you have your quintessential haunting things that are taking places, the unexplained voices in the cold spots, the objects moving on their own, sites of apparitions. The two apparitions that I have found the most amount of stories about are that there's this little girl and then there's this patient with red hair. And those are the two that people see often, or the most commonly cited ones. I think uh, the red haired patient is it's in the name. Like I think how everyone knows that that's a patient from the hospital. And then the little girl's also assumed to be a patient from the hospital.
I would assume she's probably not a Nazi.
No, probably not a Nazi.
Nazi POW.
No,
Yeah,
probably not. But yeah, so both of those are hospital patients that people see pretty frequently. Again, not much about them. I can't see much about them. There was one account where a woman saw a patient with red hair, and it was so like clear as day that she thought it was a mannequin. And she kind of was like, "Oh, that's a mannequin," and then like went back and was like, "Oh, someone moved the mannequin," and then someone else was like,
So I listened to
"Honey,
a lot
there was
of
no mannequin there."
I listen to a lot of true crime, and people always think that like if they see a body, they're like, "Oh, it's a mannequin."
Yeah,
Dude, nope. It's never a fucking mannequin.
it's never. How many times do you see mannequins?
At a store.
Yeah,
That's it. If you see a mannequin not in a store, it's not a mannequin.
I will say, they do have mannequins at the museum. So she was like, "Oh, it's just a mannequin at the museum."
Mannequins with red hair.
No, none
Well,
of those.
there you go.
Exactly. So those were both two very fascinating figures that people see. Another one that has been seen, but it's smaller amount of accounts, is this German POW. So people see.
I figured at least one of those would pop up.
Yeah, at least one. I'm actually surprised it's only one.
Yeah, I am too. You said 20,000?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, like, there weren't.
Multiple that died or something.
Yeah,
like
there
that.
had to be a bunch
Yeah.
that died
So
there.
I was definitely fascinated by that as well. So I thought that was interesting that there's only one. But again, there isn't like a ton of accounts. But I also think this place is investigated enough where if there was more than one, people would be seeing it or interacting with it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I always kind of wonder this. Like, so if you are in a place that has a haunting, that has a history of, like, multiple of, like, the same kind of person being there. So, like, Nazi POWs, like, there was 20,000 of them there. Many probably died there. But they, quote-unquote, only see one. I wonder if, like, it could be multiple, and people just
Yeah,
say
that's fair.
it's the Nazi
That's
POW.
100%. I had never thought of that, and the second you said that, I was like, that's definitely what's happening.
Yeah, like maybe it's multiple ghosts, and it's the same thing with like prisons or like I don't know, like child's like we've covered some places where it was like the child hospitals and stuff like
Yeah.
that, where like oh it's the little boy who likes to play with a ball.
Yep.
A lot of little boys like to play with a
Yeah.
ball. Maybe there's multiple little boys who
That's
like to play
fair.
with balls.
I had never thought of that. No, absolutely. I think you're 100% correct. Yeah, and I think that lends. So the next one is like soldiers. People see like U.S. soldiers that are like guarding it. Sometimes the apparitions of that, and it's like there's probably like 10 or 20 that they're seeing, but
Yeah,
they just think it's like one or two or something like that. So
I wonder if U.S. soldiers would have died there, or if that's just like that was like their proud moments of their life that they wanted to go back to,
maybe, yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
serving in World War II.
Yeah, um, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's very interesting. So it seems like though that those two are very like I think it was very fascinating and interesting to me that most of the hauntings, most of the energy and all that stuff are from its hospital time period. It wasn't necessarily like the World War II stuff and the Nazi POW camp. I would have thought would have played a bigger part, but I really couldn't find a ton about it in terms of like hauntings. Like it's like, yeah, you see the prisoner, you see the guards that are US soldiers, and that's pretty much it. No real like uh in detail interactions and stuff like that. But I think with the hospital, there's a lot more when it comes to that. There's a lot of screams and cries and just kind of like hospital tragedy sounds like in the museum.
Yeah,
What paranormal investigators capture. Um, it is said to be that the top two floors are the two floors that have the most activity. And of those, on the top two floors, the rooms that have the most activity are part of the museum. They left two surgical suites completely intact with the original equipment and all that kind of stuff to be like, hey, this was what used to happen here. This is like the museum. It's part of the museum. It's a
yeah,
museum exhibit, but with the original artifacts in the original room. And apparently, those rooms are haunted AF.
that makes sense.
Like,
I'm a big artifacts guy.
yeah,
Like not even in terms of hauntings, but in terms of like I own like ancient coins and stuff like that. I just fucking love that stuff.
and you know what? I actually had never thought about it until this episode of like the artifacts probably hold so much of the energy and stuff like that. So like if you're in the place with the original artifact and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, that's
It saw the stuff happening.
yeah. Like there's a big case to be made for energy and paranormal spirits to exist there.
Yeah.
Um Another interesting tidbit or story was that there behind one of the nurses' stations, there was a picture frame that had it was like a concrete block that they like sawtooth like the like screw into the wall and like were hanging it this picture on the wall like pretty sturdy, albeit it one morning was found on the ground face down. It was found face down on the ground with the glass not broken. So it fell, air quotes around fell, off the wall, face down, glass did not break. Whoever picked it up was like, that's weird, put it back. The next week, exact same story. Down on the ground, glass not broken, face down. And for the life of me, I wanted to find what was in that picture frame.
Yeah.
Like, what was this spirit taking off the wall? Like, what was it?
Yeah, that's like not I don't want to say like unfinished business, but that ghost has like a mission in life
Yeah.
or in afterlife of like I will not let people see this.
Yes. Is it because they I guess I went both ways. I think at first I was like, oh, this ghost wants this picture to be like have attention brought to it,
Yeah.
or are they flipping it face down on purpose?
Yeah. I think
Like in a bad way. I guess I mean like were they doing it on purpose in a good way because they wanted people to see the picture? Were they doing it in a bad way because they didn't want people to see the picture?
in what I interpret is that they wanted the people to not see the picture. It's like when like, oh, there's a home intruder and they like turn the family photos down or something. Like that's a thing that some people
What?
do. Um
Wait, what?
you're not a true crime guy, clearly.
No, I, you know this. I avidly hate that shit.
It's wild.
I'm sorry. I'm like,
You're the
oh,
weirdo here.
let me. Oh, how do I want to relax for an hour on this fine Friday night? Oh, let me just watch the worst moment of these people's lives.
Dude, when I'm taking my dog on a walk, he'll just be like sniffing the trees and I'm listening to like people getting I'm not listening to people getting brutally murdered, but I'm listening to the story.
People talk about people getting
People
brutally
talk
murdered.
about people getting brutally murdered.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. But whatever. Sorry. Keep going with haunted.
Yeah, the way that I interpret it is they don't want people to see it because they're turning it face down. If they were putting it on the floor face up, or if they were putting it in like a more prominent, like, look at this
Yeah.
position, I'd be like, okay, they want people to see this. But clearly, in my mind, they don't.
Fair. So yeah, I think that was kind of the all the specific things that I found. And yeah, just a little tidbit at the end of like, this is a place that's prime for the picking when it comes to like us getting down there. I think I read something that's like $100 for 2 hours and you get to paranormal investigate this place.
Off to OKC.
I would be so down to go look. Maybe we fly in to Oklahoma City,
Stay at the Skirvin.
stay at the Skirvin, and then drive out,
That would actually be a sick trip.
and then do that. That will be a kind of a sucky night because you'll be there from 8 to 10 and then have to drive 2 hours back. But
That's
honestly,
okay.
yeah, it's whatever. And then, like, fall asleep, hopefully not get molested by a ghost, and then wake up, probably do another night, like, see the city and stuff like that, chill. Maybe go on a ghost tour if they have one,
Oh, that'd be fun.
and then send it back to Boston.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think that'd be pretty easy for us to do, and we could film.
Yeah.
We could film the time at the Skirvin. We could film the time at the hospital, or I keep calling it the hospital, but the museum.
Yeah.
Um,
That'd be sick.
that'd be really sick.
And we can record an episode from
yeah,
the Skirvin. Or, yeah, from the Skirvin. 'Cause
Yeah.
We'd want to, like, actually investigate for those 2 hours. We wouldn't
Yes.
want to record an episode there.
no,
So,
no,
Yeah, that'd
but
be
that
sick.
would be pretty sick. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Comment or shoot us a message if you think you would want to see us do some like on the ground encounter episodes. We're in the works. We're cooking up some. We want to give you guys more content. We want to come up with different episodes and stuff like that. So we are absolutely going to continue with our normal weekly sit on the couch, tell our story from a different city with a different cocktail every week. But we're cooking up. We're in the lab, right? Yeah, we're in the lab.
Yeah.
We're cooking up some ideas when it comes to some different other episodes we could release on a weekly basis for y'all.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for some potential announcements coming soon.
and while you're at it, go follow us on Instagram and TikTok and listen on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, and rate, review, and leave comments on all those platforms as well. All the links are going to be in the description.
Please, I don't want to get on my knees and beg, but I will. Please, we would really appreciate the support with like Aiden said, the liking, the subscribing, all that good shite. So, yeah, appreciate
And
you.
also please send your stories, like your personal stories, to spiritsonspiritspod@gmail.com so that we can start reading them off on.
Yeah, that'd be
On
fun.
air.
Or DM us on Instagram. Like, you don't
Yeah,
have
that
to
too.
Gmail. Like, you don't have to Gmail us. Like, you could hit us with a DM. That's probably so much easier. Like, you could literally, you don't even have to type it. You could just speech to text it or audio, like, thing it.
Like, we genuinely read all of our messages.
Yes, we do.
So, and comments and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
please, just send
it
them.
hasn't bit us in the ass yet. We don't have haters yet where, like, people are commenting, like, you guys fucking suck or stuff like that.
Now
So we
people are going
read
to start
everyone.
doing that now that you said that.
Dude, you know what? If someone says we suck, then we should
I'll
DM
take it
their.
as a compliment because it just means that we are significant enough to have haters.
Yeah, I guess so. So, all right, wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Haunted or not?
Haunted.
Okay, cool.
20,000 Nazi soldiers.
Yeah.
Hospital for 40 years. Yeah, haunted.
Cool. Me too.
Yeah.
So,
Figured.
sweet. All right, well, until next week, folks, stay spooky.
Cheers to R as well for recommending this.
Yeah,
place.
appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. So, thank you. And then anyone else that wants to send us something on Instagram in terms of like, oh, you guys should do this or look at this or all that kind of stuff, we would absolutely love it. Like, we got this message, what, 2 weeks ago, and we're recording.
If that, maybe a
Yeah,
week ago.
if that, a week ago, and we were like, you know what? We were trying to pick the city, and we're like, dude, let's roll with that. So definitely anything that you guys want to hear has, especially like, at these earlier stages, has a pretty good likelihood of ending up on the show. So,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well, stay spooky for real this time.
Yeah. See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.